We welcome you to another episode of Talking Blizz with Joey Bonadonna, and this week we welcome a special guest from the Green Bay Blizzard coaching staff, defensive backs coach Jon Tate. Coach, welcome to the show.
What's going on, Joey, man? Glad to be here.
Appreciate your time this week, and obviously this is a big week, coming off a playoff win, first playoff win since 2012, and now an opportunity to take the Eastern Conference here in the postseason, taking the regular season title, but now having an opportunity to take that all by yourself with a game here against the Massachusetts Pirates. First off, where's the team at mentally right now, physically, going into this matchup?
We're pretty good, man. We're pretty solid. Coach has been coming up with a pretty good plan and strategy for, going into this second playoff game. So everybody's good. We calm. We ready. Ready for Friday.
And as we start diving into your story here, Coach, obviously football, it's got to be a big part of your life if you want to coach the game. And walk me through where football kind of started for you, your playing days back when you were younger.
Man, started back, I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, man. So I played in the Riverside League over on the Riverside on the west side of town of Indianapolis, man. I played for the Riverside Jaguars, man. For my people that's from Indy that listen, man, they'll all know about the Jaguars back in the day. But that's where it started for me, man. I was a three-sport athlete, though, growing up, so I did a little bit of everything, football, basketball, track. But that's where football started for me, man. My love for the game really just, I guess it kind of came from just being around other guys that were playing, like my cousins. They all played, so I definitely just wanted to get out there with them, being younger and watching them play. So that was where it all started for me. Of course, I played through middle school, high school, got to college and started to play, and then ended up transferring from Jackson State to play basketball too. So, I was a jack of all trades when it came to sports, but then when it came to actually wanting to dive into the coaching part after finishing school, it was kind of like a no-brainer for me. I went back to my high school, Ben Davis High School, and coached there, and learned a lot. I was under Coach Tom Allen. He was my head coach when I played there, but then he was the head coach at IU and now D coordinator at Penn State. So learned a lot from him. Coach Kirshner, being up under a lot of those guys that's been coaching for a long time. So that's pretty much what kind of cemented me wanting to coach and help other guys get that opportunity.
And diving into, you touched on being a multi-sport athlete. Tell me how that can kind of round you out holistically, not just as an athlete, but as a person as well.
Yeah, man, it helps you work on different things. Track being one of those speed sports, so I feel like that will help any athlete in any way possible. Speed kills. So anytime you can have speed, I feel like track would be able to help you. But also it helps you with being able to kind of push yourself, because, track is more of a, myself and my event type of thing. Unless you're on a 4x1, 4x4 or something like that, you pretty much got to get yourself ready. You got to do everything on your own. So it kind of gets you ready to do those types of things. Where in football, you have to do your part of a team. All 8 guys in the indoor league or 11 outside. So you got to be able to do your part, because one person messes up in a play, then that could be detrimental to the team. So it taught me how to be a good teammate. So that's what football did for me, and also basketball too. So just being able to have those different camaraderies and different types of teams with all different type of people, that's what pretty much helped me round out wanting to be a coach after I played. So
you talked about being under Coach Allen, and talk about what he meant for football in the state of Indiana, where he grew up, and also having him as a mentor throughout his time there in the state of Indiana.
Man, Coach Allen, man, that's my guy right there, man. He always preached love to us. So that was one of those things that our team, when I was at Ben Davis, we kind of took to heart, because we were, we hung out a lot. So how it is once you're a high school kid. So those are one of the things that stuck with me. So he did a lot for my thinking process as a player and as a coach, because he had a great coaching philosophy. But Coach Kirshner also, he was one of those guys too. He's now head coach at the rival school in Indiana, Warren Central. So he's still doing his thing, man. I love Coach Kirshner. He helped me become one of the person I am, because he wasn't just a pushover coach. He's going to tell you how it is, whether you like it or not. So one of the good things I admire about him.
And then moving on here to your experience here in Green Bay, joining the staff here this year, what went into that decision, conversations with Coach Roberson, and making that decision to come up to Green Bay and coach in the indoor game?
Yeah, so coaching experience, like I said, I started it off at my high school, Ben Davis High School back in Indianapolis. I was there for about 2012 to about 2017, so a good 5 years there. We won a couple state titles, football and track. And then I actually took a stab into the college world. I went to a JUCO, Liberty Prep, where we won the national championship 2021. So I felt like I wanted to take that next step. So Coach Adams, Marcus Adams, who was helping out with the D-line in the defense last year, but ended up getting a college coaching job and leaving, right? So he's from Indianapolis, also went to Ben Davis High School. Ben Davis High School got a long pipeline of football, coaches, players, all of that. So if you hear me talking about it, that's how it is there. So he ended up linking me with Coach Roberson, because Coach Roberson wanted a DB coach so he could be everywhere, head coach, so he could, see everything. So he ended up linking me with Coach Roberson, man. We had a nice long conversation, man. He kind of caught me up on the IFL game, because I ain't gonna lie, man. When he sent me the rule book with all the different rules, I was like, oh my goodness, what is all of this? But over the season, man, it was a no-brainer decision. I wanted to come up here and see how it was, learn some different rules, be able to be up under coach and learn some more, DB type stuff that, because really the game kind of translate the same as far as DBs outside and inside. A few things are different, but being able to be up under him, he's taught me a lot in his first season. Also, shout out to Sean Steele and Rivers, because those two guys returning were a big help to me for this being my first year in the 8-man game. So that's pretty much how it came apart, man. Coach Adams, he hooked me up with Coach Roberson, and then we got to roll it from there. And
you were talking about having Sean Steele and Ravarius Rivers back on this defense, coming back from the previous years. The defense took a little bit of a step back last year, and obviously that was where this team wanted to improve going into 2024. What differences have you seen from the culture of the defensive side of the ball? Obviously, Coach Roberson prides himself on defense and his teams. What do you think you've seen throughout the year with being able to coach these guys?
Well, man, really since camp, these guys have been on it defensively. I think we came out with something to prove. The guys, I can't forget Feek too. He was here before, so those guys really came back really knowing the defense, really. So we just needed to plug a few more pieces in, and that's what we did in camp and throughout the early games of the season. So we kind of figured it out, had to move some pieces around. Got Julius Wilkerson in place at linebacker, so and then the rest of our DBs, they all took the challenge to make sure that we stayed number one. So of course with our D line, getting to the quarterback like they do, it makes it a little easier on us on the back end. But when the ball comes our way, we kind of we playmakers. So it's good to be able to have those guys coming back and being the heart of the defense, and we got it in each level, so that helps a lot.
And not only you touched on those returners, but there's not really a whole lot of them all over the team. It's a lot of rookies on this squad, and they're learning the game along with you. Where do you think you've seen them grow as well in trying to adapt to this style of play?
Yeah, it's good to see some of the guys grow, man, because, of course, being here since camp, you get to see that evolution of the rookie guys. So especially on offense. E.J. Burgess, D. Moore, Patron, those guys, Harry Ballard, seeing them all have to adjust to being high-mo receivers. That's a difference for them. They come from the 11-man game, so being able to see them do that how they're doing now is nice to watch. And same with me, because I was learning it and trying to teach it at the same time. So it was a nice growing process. I say that.
And then next up, some of the guys throughout this season on the podcast have mentioned how champions practices have been something kind of new to the team this year. Can you elaborate on how those practices operate during the week and how those have helped grow the team throughout the season?
Yeah, well, man, it just kind of piques that competitive drive within the team. So, of course, it's ones versus ones, and we do kind of different situationals, game time things, like 3rd and 6, we got to get off the field, or 4th and 2, and we got to get off the field, or let's 1 minute drive the offense down the field, make sure we getting out of bounds. All those different types of things that you do see in the games. So when we do see them, it's not new to us. So we really try to make that a competition period, and I think the captains brought that to Coach Roberson, and he implemented it in practice. We always gotta be able to listen to the players sometimes too, because they are the ones out there. So Coach saw that was something that was needed, and they started putting it in practice. So it's a good period for us, really.
A few more questions before we wrap things up. What's one fun fact? This might put you on the spot here, but what's one fun fact about Coach Jon Tate?
Fun fact? Oh man, I was a high jump state champion, and I was the shortest person on the podium. I always find that fun, man, because sitting up there at the top and the guy in second place was still my height. So that was a nice fun fact I got right there.
There you go. So touching a little bit more on the multi-sport athlete, having that, and the size of what I like to say, what is it? Not the size of the dog in a fight, the size of the fight and the dog.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's that one right there. Finally, Coach, before we wrap this one up, obviously coming to this one against Massachusetts, it's kind of fitting to finish the season before the championship, that it goes back all the way to where it starts in that first game against Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And in that one, the guys couldn't finish that one in the fourth quarter, but now an opportunity to finish all the work that's gone up through this season against this team, an opportunity to right that wrong. What's the message to the team this week as they take on the Pirates here in the Eastern Conference Championship?
One more, man. That's what we started with. Us losing to them that first game is what started the one more. So I think that's really, it's kind of self-explanatory for our team. We all know that we're ready to get to Friday. So one more so we can get to Vegas. That's the thing that we preaching.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time this week. Best of luck on Friday. Before we sign off here, any parting words?
Yeah, man, just make sure y'all come out to the Resh on Friday, man, 7 o'clock. Come check us out. We trying to get to Vegas.
Absolutely.
Love to see y'all.
The Eastern Conference Championship against the Massachusetts Pirates. One more game separating the Green Bay Blizzard and the national championship in Vegas. Well, appreciate your time again, Coach. We appreciate you for tuning in to this week's episode of Talking Blizz with Joey Bonadonna. We'll see you in the next one. And as always, go Blizz.